I don't know. What have you renamed this chat to?
All flesh must be eaten, the Potman Chronicles.
Because of course you have.
It makes sense. I don't know. You know, it makes perfect sense, actually.
Who else has been chronicling things here?
And Chris is
He
playing
has been
Hearthstone.
chronicling.
Didn't they take away his audio recorder?
They did.
Doesn't mean he hasn't been doing it.
He's just been, like, announcing this shit out loud like he's preparing for, like, a radio job.
Just a monologue as we're walking along.
Like, there was, like, at least 57 times while you all were hiking that Tony turned to Podman and said, Podman, shut up! And then it would stop for a while, and then it would begin and just, like, slowly build in volume.
Yup. See, that's what I'm talking about. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab a phone charger so that I don't have to have my phone plugged into my computer because that does bad things to my microphone.
Okay.
It does.
Oh, the excitement, the intensity.
Sounds like the wonderful roof work is back.
The wonderful, wonderful world.
Not
of
on my
Ruthless.
end. Not on my end.
Yeah, they're not over top of my unit, but I can hear them.
So, as they were doing that last week for me.
Let's see, stealth and climbing.
Epic climbing action.
Post climbing.
Fletch climb is best climb.
I don't know about that.
Epic.
If I say untrue things with enough, tenacity and vivaciousness,
What
they
are
will
we,
become
Hitler?
True.
Sure.
Sure. We are
Well,
all collectively. We are Mecha Hitler.
Are
I
we a
like that
double Hitler?
Granny has a pool
So
table
which
in the
one of us
middle
is
of her
ahead?
thing.
It's
Yes,
not
she
a-
does. Granny has a
it-
cool table. What
it
else
was-
would she have?
It wasn't planning on being a pool table, but if it helps the imagining that, like, the dinner table is also a pool table, then sure, we'll go with that.
It just has a sheet draped over it.
Granny, this is a fancy table. Wait.
All of the holes have been converted into like cup holders for your giant big gulps from NASCAR 7-Eleven sponsors.
No, not big. This isn't the South. This is Pennsylvania.
Still redneck as shit.
It's redneck, but not that redneck. I mean, it's not in Indiana, for one thing.
They have NASCAR up there.
You in Indiana, well, I guess, you were born in a ditch, or you grew up in one, so...
That ditch.
Let's see how long I won't talk this session.
Aww.
But Jordan,
But what?
if Trusty Tony's not around to lead the people, then they can't go anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. They need his panache.
That's right. They do. It's not like Eugene is going to show them the sights of Romero. No, it's up to you.
Sites of Romero are Trusty Tony's totally trusty used car emporium, and Trusty Tony's house. Or
What
maybe
is, what is the full title of Trusty Tony's Used Car Emporium?
it's
It's probably
Trusty
got
Tony.
subtitles.
Trusty Tony's totally trustworthy used cars emporium.
Honest,
you have
honest,
LLC on that?
trustless Tony's, trusty, discount used car emporium.
It's used discounts.
Oh,
That's how we get you.
The discounts have been used,
oh, yes.
not the cars.
All of the coupons have already expired.
Hey.
I mean, I know a few good liquor stores, but other than that, there's not much to see here.
Coupons are expired. They work fine here.
Yes. Bad credit is all right with Trusty Tony.
Bad credit, no credit, good credit, all is good with Trusty Tony.
That's right.
It's credit.
Find the plan that's all right with you.
Oh, I'm sorry you missed a payment. We're just gonna go foreclose your house now.
All of the house, all foreclosed.
So,
Yeah.
That's what you get for dealing with the banks and government.
through a shell company, Trusty Tony actually owns his own repo service.
Did I forget to tell you that Trusty Tony's also in the real estate business? Not very good real estate, but he's in the real estate business.
He's in
Tony's
a real
trusty
estate business.
discount real estate.
Wait, you got 3?
It's so trusty.
Yeah.
So trusty.
I mean, $500 for 14 acres? Who would?
How can I not trust that?
Buy a house, get a car free.
Oh my god. What a steal.
He's
I mean, deal.
practically giving them away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Practically.
Absolutely.
I'm imagining.
not
I'm
quite.
imagining the TV ads for Trusty Tony on the public access.
Oh yeah. You'll have to make little shorts about those.
Sure.
You have to.
I'll totally get around to that.
Non-optional.
The Pop Man Chronicles as he reminisces about Trusty Tony's commercials.
I'll use totally copyrighted music as well.
Fantastic.
That's the ticket.
Yeah.
But have it be like from so long ago and such an obscure artist that no one gives a shit.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Pro strats right there.
The proest of strats.
It don't matter if it's copyrighted if no one's gonna file a claim.
People will file claims.
Bullshit.
No, people will file fake claims if they can.
Quite easily claim.
Well, those people are monsters.
Yes, they are.
Just like your characters.
Yes.
Monster.
That's the ticket.
Trust me, I'm
Hear
not a
the
monster.
quotation?
You're a trusty monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like a Pixar made you or something. Oh man. Alright. We ready to get started?
I don't know what's there.
I sure am.
Okay.
I'm just eating potato chips and my microphone's off.
Absolutely.
Potatoes.
No. Alright, folks. Welcome back to All Flesh Must Be Eaten, Session 9. When last we left off, the group managed to survive their several-day hike and emerged from the wilderness of northeastern Pennsylvania relatively unscathed, except for Cat, where they encountered a mecca, the glorious fields of weed, lorded over by Granny McGannigan herself. They spent a few hours debating strategy and tactics and what the fuck to do around Granny's table as she made quite a bit of food and employed Eugene to assist in the task, and all of you are back up to full endurance as a result of the weight of pounds of country ham, pounds of green beans, all sorts of other fixins and creations that Granny ended up making.
That sounds good.
Country ham.
Not just any ham. Granny's excuse for that is that obviously the government's going to cut off the power at some point, or it's going to fall due to whatever the hell it is you think is coming. So might as well get the shit fixed now.
Mm-hmm.
That's the spirit.
And that basically leaves you a few minutes before 3 p.m. on the same day. Basically oversatiated now that you've glutted yourselves on food. Granny's not the best cook, but compared to what you folks have been eating since all this shit transpired, it's pretty awesome.
We had
And the
Sasquatch.
drinks. I mean, she's not the best cook, but she's a pretty good home brewer.
We had mushrooms, a turtle.
As she waddles from the kitchen back to the dinner table and back and forth. And that will be where we pick up with the group.
Cooking is delicious as always, Granny McGannigan. Now, about that car.
Granny looks around. Are you trying to sell me something now?
Of all times, Don.
Can't blame a guy for trying.
I think she can, actually, Tony.
She
She
shakes
blames,
her
she
head.
blames me a lot. She blames me for a lot of things, Eugene.
And she waddles away into another room.
Okay. Besides, I think the thing we need to do today is at least get to my house. If it's still there. People didn't like my house. Something about not mowing the lawn.
We can
Yeah,
probably
whatever.
get some pretty good stuff for my house, too.
You mean
I've
your
got a lot of
mean your shitty cabin in the woods on the other
Merchant-
side of town?
Yes, that's what I mean when I say house, Tony.
Okay. Because I
I've
actually
got
have a
lot
house.
of, merchandise there.
He means drugs.
I mean drugs.
You don't need to beat around the bush with these two people.
Yeah, I've got a lot of illegal.
Narcotics.
They're not narcotics, Tony.
Whatever, they're illegal.
Yeah.
And you would sell them.
Or barter. I mean, we're
You
getting
would
into
sell
some
them.
like Mad Max stuff pretty soon, right?
Is it really illegal? I mean, have you seen what the government's been doing?
Hell.
I have been saying they've been doing this for years. That doesn't make it not illegal. It just makes it okay.
At least you don't sell them to kids. Anyway,
I mean, I'm kind of like a middleman. I grow it and then sell it to suppliers. I don't know where it goes after that.
anyways, unless Eugene has a better idea of what to do immediately, I think we should head out immediately and try to get to either my house or my car lot if it's still there.
No, that sounds fine to me. Try and get a car, and if we get a car, we go to my place and get a lot of barterables. And if we don't find a car, I have that sedan you sold me. Sold my cabin.
Which one was that?
The blue one.
Which blue one?
They're all blue.
Oh.
I sell a lot of blue sedans, okay? Is it,
See
was
how
it,
much I talk this session.
is it the Ford from 1993? Or was it the Toyota from 1992? Come on, Potman.
I don't know. I tend to sell them again after I've done one trip with them.
Oh my god, you sell... See if I sell you a car ever again. You ruin a car, now you're selling my cars? What are you, man? Come on.
When did I ruin a car?
Last time?
Quicker,
The time you drove into a wall?
quicker than the eye can perceive, a little jingling sound is heard, and flying out of the other room is a set of keys which nails right in the back of Eugene's head.
Well, that answers the question I was going to ask.
Eugene, like, jumps and face plants.
Simultaneously.
She's
Grandma,
got armor.
Grandma comes waddling out and says, Eugene, you're the one who's responsible for that shit. You let Anthony drive that, I will kill you myself.
Anthony will walk back to his seat.
Yes, Granny.
Granny waddles, continues to waddle, and says, now here, boy, don't you go blowing all this shit in one place. It's not like I'm going to be getting them welfare checks anymore. She hands Eugene $500.
Nice. That's almost as much as the government took from me.
That's all you had?
Granny, like, lifts
In
an
that
eyebrow.
suitcase? You had a suitcase
That
of ill-gotten
suitcase-
money.
was full of
Mid-
ones, wasn't it?
You made me think you made like a shitload of money over an AC.
Oh, no, I mean, most of it was singles. You don't want to cash it all out at once, or else they'll notice what you're doing.
But you kept the chips?
What? No, I cashed it out, like, in bits and pieces every 10, 30, 60 minutes.
Yeah,
cashed
they would
out-
never notice that.
The Hubble telescope, your glasses just look at Eugene.
Whatever, Eugene, if you're gonna drive, let's get out of here now.
All right, cool.
What?
Let's all load up in the car and get a
Shotgun.
load of green.
Careful on the road now. You fuck that shit up, I'll skin you.
You know,
Should we maybe
But
put all
honestly-
the weapons somewhere that aren't kind of in the open?
And Granny nods. Yes, the carrying around that grenade launcher probably gonna scare away a few people. They might not be too keen on dealing with you.
we
Okay with that.
might want to be careful if we're going to anywhere that is registered with the government. Like, you know, like Tony's lot. Like, well, actually, is your lot even registered, Tony?
I
Is
pay
it
my
just-
taxes.
You sure you do?
The accountant I pay a lot of money says I do.
So,
All right.
also, Granny furrows her brows at Fletch. Boy, didn't you say you wanted to make a call to someone?
Who?
Yeah, I just need to find a number first.
He doesn't seem to be directly listed in the phone book.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe calling the CDC and seeing if they can point us in the right direction without knowing it.
Granny shit says, their numbers are made pretty fucking available in public. You can call that shit now, I think.
Was the C section was gone from the phone book already, wasn't it?
The
Right.
CDC wouldn't be under the C's; they'd be under emergency
It's an
contacts.
emergency contact, yeah. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Information and Immunization Hotline, yeah, that's an emergency contact.
I
That's been like pinned in, like in the side, like in the scroll.
As if she knew she would need it.
Right. Along with all sorts of other useless numbers.
Other than the emergency hotline, looking for their like general offices type phone numbers.
No, there's
Good
a
fucking luck with that.
there's a prevention information and immunization hotline, but there's no entry that says CDC offices.
Can you
Yeah,
smooth
that's-
talk your way through a hotline?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Tony
Can I
can.
smooth talk over a standardized set of responses?
Tony can because they can't see the sleaze that he is. Only the
Shit.
charisma of his voice comes through.
Granny grabs the phone, waddles over, hands it to Fletch.
Well, if that's the only choice I got.
So, just one thing that if we do go to anywhere the government knows that we live, they might very well have people watching it or already there waiting for us.
So,
Sure enough. Just saying be ready.
Dude.
Tony is always ready.
If that
I'm
were the
always-
case, I'm surprised they weren't waiting for us here.
Well, you know, I've got a little more faith in Granny McGannigan than I do,
I mean, just
Whoever.
put this to you straight. Granny McGannigan's probably well known in Romero. We just like her so much that we don't, tattle on her. Did I say that out loud?
Granny just like tilts so that she's looking between Eugene and Fletch at Anthony.
What? You're that nice old
Eugene
lady.
just shrugs.
I've made a few enemies in my day. As a matter of fact,
She's more notorious than well known.
I expect I'll be calling a few friends after you're gone. Gotta make sure that I'm safe and secure in my old age. She
Well.
gives a creepy granny smile.
She's the only one who I can't smooth talk.
I don't
Come on,
care.
Eugene, let's go.
I wouldn't be surprised if this whole area blew up after we were gone. Oh,
You need to keep those doomsday prophecies of yours to yourself.
You know, it might
'Cause,
work better than calling the emergency hotline and just be calling 411 or the operator.
Granny chimes in. You honestly think you're going to be able to get in touch with anyone after all this shit's been put out to people?
Maybe. Not through the emergency hotline, definitely not, but
She gives Fletch a condescending look.
I give him a condescending look all the time. He doesn't work, though.
he doesn't work. Well, I suppose that's mostly factual.
Sometimes
it's
when...
more based in truth than fiction.
Yeah. Well, you're going to make that call, or are you just going to sit here all day?
Yeah, I'll actually try to call the operator or information to try to get more of like general office contact information.
Alright. Attempting to contact an operator directly with 411 results in basically just busy lines. No one can come to you at this time.
Please try again later.
No better luck just hitting 0.
No better luck at all. Perhaps like everyone in around has had the same idea the moment they saw that the world was falling apart and wanted more information.
Well, this sounds like an emergency then. I'll call that number.
You have reached the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Information and Immunization Hotline. For English, press 1. Para Español, oprima dos.
Is there a Nazi option?
Press 1.
This call may be recorded for quality assurance purposes. From here, the automated system lists several options, utilizing all of the numbers on the numpad, all of which have branching paths of their own that are entirely irrelevant to what you want. At the
Okay,
end,
I'm going to use the one that always works on every automated system. 000000000.
At the end, the automated system offers to direct you to an operator.
Yes.
Please hold. Do 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 do. Have you heard that in the local area today? And it breaks off the whole
Twitch.
like. Ends up being several minutes later, like 7 to be exact.
Faster than I expected.
We're sorry, we cannot connect you with a representative this time. Please call back later. Our hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. Goodbye.
Some hotline. What if I have an emergency past that time?
Sorry, we don't have a German phone.
Damn it!
That's like the secret panel, like you open on the side.
It's got a little keyhole you have to put something in.
Well, someone else has to put something in the other phone as well. Same time.
Oh,
You know,
alright.
it's an Enigma phone.
Oh, yes, yes.
You know, Enigma machine, Enigma phone. Oh wait,
Yeah.
explain the
The
joke. Damn
British
it.
will have that cat. Have that broken in no time.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Well, since you can't seem to find what you're looking for, let's go.
I'll try back later.
Is this
So
a window
5
or is
hours
this-
until the office?
It's a window. That
You
ends
walk
up
through
being
the
the
window.
door. It's irrelevant.
Irrelevant, you say?
Irrelevant, yes. I mean, you could always pull a trusty Tony. Dur, 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 dur.
I was thinking more of if I were going out that way to climb through the window, not go face first through it. No, use the door.
Granny nods, and
I
as soon as Kat leaves, Granny looks at Eugene before he leaves and says, "Now don't you be humiliating yourself in front of that young woman. Now, you be a good upstanding McGannigan." Fucking.
Yeah, do you have an
it's not like that,
upstanding
Granny.
McGannigan?
She like crinkles her nose and she just like starts to brush at his clothes. And honestly, God, you stink. When's the last time you bathed?
Does being in a river count as bathing?
She shakes her head. Fucking thing you grew up in a pigsty. Get on out of here. Shoves Eugene's back towards the door.
I guess Eugene's outside now.
Magic.
She fucking waddles away, closes the door behind you. Okay.
I would ask Eugene to pop the trunk and put the rifle and grenade launcher and ammo can and other assorted things that we can't really be walking around with in there.
Eugene
Keep 'em
does
up,
so, but he leaves on his armor and his gun. You don't care. Shoot.
Trusty Tony's gonna keep his pistol.
Okay.
Then again, Trusty Tony
Okay.
knows that Trusty Tony has a pretty high gun skill, so he can probably hide it pretty well. Or decently well.
Does it work that way?
I don't know.
You know,
I'd be
thinks it's
thinking more of a sleight of hand thing, but
He,
you know,
he thinks it works that way.
yeah. All that matters is what Trusty Tony thinks.
Yeah, this is all a figment of Trusty Tony's imagination. This entire
Alright.
game.
Is the car, by the way, quite old, indeterminate age, but it looks really rough, and it seems as if it's like been cobbled together with like duct tape and paper mache to fix problems.
the real question is the back seat one of those old like bench back seats
Yes.
of this car?
four of you pile in, and Eugene takes off down the dirt road.
Eugene, what's your drive skill?
I think it's like non-existent.
Oh God, we're gonna die.
No, I mean you can still drive that way. It's just you're not gonna be pulling off any fancy maneuvers, is all.
We're gonna die.
Drive
Let's
skill.
see.
I put on my seatbelt.
Yep.
My paper-mache seatbelt.
Basically, Eugene is putting along because he doesn't have the skill.
Yeah, no,
Tony's like,
he doesn't have a drive skill. He's not pulling off any fancy maneuvers.
Definitely
Tony's like,
He's like, I can't drive because if I do drive, she'll fucking know.
the one person.
She will
Tony-
just know.
Yeah, he drives like a normal person, frightenedly and occasionally cutting people off.
Trusty Tony, the only person he's ever scared of, Granny McGannigan.
So,
Everyone else.
So as you pull out, it's a few minutes after 3 when you leave Granny's trailer and head off into Romero, taking the beaten dirt path to a road that is less bumpy and more preserving of your head. The site before you as you enter Romero is one of one that you were probably expecting. The avenues are more crowded than they've ever been during the Elks Lodge-sponsored parades. Muted chaos boils just beneath the surface of Romero, and street fronts that normally be bustling with business and fun are either closed or full of frenetic activity. There are cars and people everywhere, which fits the fact that Eugene is going to be a slow and cautious driver. On the other hand, since he's terrified and excitable, there's a lot of shit running in front, to the sides. You know, people of all sorts talking along the sides. You know, TVs up, like dragged out onto the streets to play along with radios. There's a lot of people.
Right, so Podman's basically taken his foot off the gas entirely and isn't occasionally hitting the brakes, just coasting at the... Yeah.
Just don't stall the car.
Where are you folks wanting to go first?
Tony wants to go to his car lot, unless anyone wants to argue with him.
Will Eugene head that way?
Sure.
Okay. It's fine. Do. No elevator wait music for this.
Oh.
Eugene drives everyone down the Romero's few avenues towards Trusty Tony's reputable business, Trusty Tony's Used Car Emporium. At the heart of Romero County, Trusty Tony has used his wits and charm to fast-talk his way into pocketbooks all over northeastern Pennsylvania, with his primary competition being the Moody's of Summer Meadow. Tony has a somewhat shady reputation in the city for selling lemons to people, but somehow he manages to lure in marks day after day.
I was gonna say, I know the place has a reputation, but would you call it reputable?
My question is,
It's
How
in the
does it-
commercials,
Ah,
so it must be true. Especially if Trusty
Yeah,
Tony's
Trusty
speaking it.
Tony's reputable used car emporium.
I mean, he's the one who does all the
Because you know what they
commercials.
say, if you have to tell people that you're trustworthy and reputable, it's true.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm familiar with that
would he
one.
lie? He's pretty honest.
Exactly. Trusty Tony wouldn't lie. That's why he does all the commercials, so
Mm-hmm.
that everyone knows. And it ends with, like, that artwork of his face right there.
Mm-hmm.
The sun glinting off
Which
the
is
teeth.
also the picture up on the sign.
Yep. The teeth, which basically have been photoshopped to appear whiter than they actually are.
Do you have a light on the teeth on the sign for a glint?
You know, a few billboards that you'd pass, obviously,
Oh,
you know, hawking the glory of Trusty Tony.
So not only does he have TV spots and radio spots, he also has billboards.
He may have squandered some of the money he has earned over the years on, you know, effective advertisement to make sure he can
So-
sell as many lemons as possible.
I mean,
I gotta ask
problem is, all of those, billboards and stuff are no longer accurate because of all of the fresh facial scars.
Yeah. Unfortunately, along with those facial scars, it seems like those marks must have had their vengeance in Tony's absence. Even a block away, through the mass of cars and people milling about in the city, you can see the ruin that was once the car emporium. The cars have been bashed with bats and sledgehammers. The windows have been smashed with bricks. Graffiti is scrawled on the exterior walls, pejorative letters of black and red, directed at Trusty Tony himself.
Look at it this way, Tony. They won't recognize you now.
Jordan,
What?
you remember when you screamed about your $40 suit?
Yeah.
You have to finish it off with screaming about your $40 cars.
They're more than $40.
They only cost you $40. That's the joke.
Altogether, they were worth $40.
Trusty Tony's like,
I mean, you could sell them for more, but that's all they were worth.
joke's on them. I'm probably gonna make more money this way. Insurance
This way,
claims.
Tony. They may not like the cars, but they won't recognize you, so they won't be able to beat you to death.
Yeah, they can recognize me.
It's particularly telling that
Have
in
you seen
all
something?
this time, not a single car has been stolen from the lot, as if everyone knew they would all suck.
Well,